Welcome to episode 276 of Consignment Chats. Favorite subject today. My favorite subject today. I know it's got to be about me as much as it can, because I mean, come on now. We are about to break down every way to source inventory. I'm so excited.
All right.
We're going to rank them from worst to best. We're going to break them down, and we're going to talk about sourcing and why maybe you might be struggling with sourcing, why you might think it's not working. We got all kinds of good things here to talk about today. And I mean,
you might think this episode is for you, but this is for me. This is absolutely, I'm looking at new strategies. So I'm here for it all.
Hey y'all, welcome to Consignment Chats, reselling tips, mindset, and real life. Hit subscribe and let's grow together.
All right. I like this. So do you ever feel like your sourcing isn't working?
Yeah.
I mean, do you? Explain that. Like, because I don't.
I feel it like in the beginning sometimes, like how many times do you walk out of a thrift store and you don't have anything, or you only have a couple things and you just feel like that was a waste of time?
Is that
like it is, I swear it is. So I can feel it like right in the beginning. And then there's other times when you feel it like when you see your inventory that's not selling and you're like, clearly I'm not sourcing the right way. But yeah, I can literally, like, we only have a couple thrift stores. And if I spend an hour or two going to those thrift stores and trying to find stuff and not finding a whole lot, I feel like such a failure.
Yeah. Really?
I have to agree with that. Like, that is time out of my day where I could have been listing. Like, I find it very frustrating. I feel a lot of pressure when I go out to source like that. And then you have the whole roller coaster, or the way I run things, it can be the consignment coming in can be a roller coaster, because I'm often dependent on somebody bringing me the inventory. So it comes in large waves, right? So I'll go to the auction or I'll source and I'll do those things. Then all of a sudden it's like, I have thousands of pieces of inventory that need to be done fairly, in a fairly timely manner. And it's just hard to, I don't know. I just find it's very hard to manage and find like a reasonable solution. So I'm not like overwhelmed and then looking for stuff.
I feel like our sweet friend Jill can feel that too, because she's been on that roller coaster as well. She doesn't have a lot of thrift store options. I really would say she doesn't have any thrift store options. And then that consignment roller coaster of, well, we don't have anything for you right now. And then everybody has everything. Yeah.
At the same time. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to be more stable.
We need stability, y'all. We need stability. And I guess I don't feel it as much because I have so many options around me. I think it's definitely
advantage of.
Yeah. I mean, there are definitely many options. I mean, I have pretty much every option, and mine are not seasonal. Garage sales can be seasonal, but even ours start so early and end so late, there's really not a big downtime on that.
Yeah. So, and another thing I struggle with is like putting out the money when you're used to consignment and having zero in, to spend a big chunk of money or to buy those higher ticket items that have the higher return. I find myself hesitating a lot because I am not as confident as Molly in her, picks and sourcing ability. So I'll be like, I'll end up with lower, ROI items just because of fear. Yeah.
And then that can cause you to look at price and what you're getting for the prices, and not necessarily how much profit it's going to bring you.
Right. That's exactly where my issue
You're just in that I don't want to spend a lot of money mode.
Right.
And
Yeah. Which I totally get. I mean, that's why you kind of got to make a plan. I mean, we have plans. I make serious plans for estate sales. But you do need to make a plan for your sourcing. You need to decide. There's so many parts that come into that plan. In fact, we are going to have available. This is our first episode on sourcing. We will follow up next week with a second episode where we're really going to help you break down a lot of this. But we will also have a downloadable available in our Etsy store that will help you break it down. But planning is everything, because so many people get lost.
To be continued?
It is a T. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right now. Cut it off. That's it. We gave you guys the hook. We'll see you next week. That's it.
No. We got more things to touch on.
We were talking about that this weekend, about how like it would just frustrate the heck out of me. Like nothing was worse than a to be continued. Like you're watching a show, right? Like back in the old days when there was no streaming, and it was like to be continued, and you'd be like, oh. I hope you don't feel like this at the end, but at least you have something to look forward to.
No, we're giving you some good tidbits today too, but we're going to go even deeper in helping you with coming up with the plan and about the price, looking at the price versus and not looking at profit. I mean, Samantha's right. We do that. I have a rule that the only time I'm allowed to do that is if it's something that just truly pulls at my heartstrings. And I just need to take it and make sure I find it a new home. But I know what my budget is. So I know how much I can play around with that. And that's another important step in this. I think people also, and I see a lot of this, quantity over quality. Like you think, ooh, I can get a lot of these for a low amount, but then they're not quality and you're not going to make a ton of money off of them. And
yeah, it turns out they're shot glasses and they don't sell. I mean, like
that's me.
Yeah,
I am quantity over quality, probably in every aspect of my life.
Oh my goodness! Wow,
I really am feeling seen right now.
All right.
Are we breaking it down, or are we breaking me down today?
No, that's not the. Quantity over quality can, like, I don't know, not over quality, but quantity can be okay sometimes, as long as that person can keep up with that quantity. If you can bring it, like Whatnot Sellers. The Whatnot Sellers are very successful. Yes. Shout out to our buddy Paul, Philly Flipper. Like, he can crank out some numbers. He is real good at getting a ton of cheap stuff, selling it cheap again, and making all kinds of money because he can keep up with it. He's a machine. He gets it out. But if you can't keep up with the quantity that you're bringing in, then you're not a high volume seller, and that plan doesn't work. That's not
correct. I like that. I think this is Samantha's biggest thing as to why your sourcing isn't working. One of the biggest reasons why people's sourcing isn't working, Samantha, come on, you know it.
Because they're not keeping up with their listings. Consistent listings all the time.
For those of you on podcast, yes, we are seeing a close-up of Samantha's face in the screen with her nostril hairs and all. They're right up in there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
She is up in your face telling you to list. I mean, that is one of the biggest sourcing mistakes. People go out and source, but they're not working the other end of the business. Mm-hmm. And that just makes money mountain ranges that are uncontrollable. So that is a toughie. That's a toughie. That is when you do not have a sourcing problem. That is when you have a shopping addiction, which I do. I tried. Yeah. That is when you have a shopping addiction. And that is something that I battle with because I do have a shopping addiction. I mean, I think that I probably could go to meetings about this.
Yeah.
I mean, I do.
Not disagreeing.
But nobody here is. Nobody here is. That's why this whole new plan that we came up with for my business model a year and a half ago, that I would make it was like, yay, because it fed my addiction. But I have to stay real and make sure that I'm getting those things listed. And sometimes that's a battle. But when you work day in and day out with Samantha Libby and have a husband named Nick, you kind of don't get away with not listing much. So that helps. So make sure you've got
very good. Very
well.
Plus, we also have Thrift Find Flip, so you turn it into videos. I've been sourcing a lot more specifically so I can make content. So it's a balance. We have a lot of things going on.
Take that addiction, turn it into something positive that makes you some money.
Can we start posting like casino videos on here? Because I could really use that. That'd be great.
Right? I think you should post some what you do with your money you get.
Oh God.
Yeah.
The judgment and comments would flow for sure.
Yes, it would. Would. All right, what I think we should do now, and we'll do this in a more detailed way later, but let's talk about all the different methods there are. Let's talk about them. Let's rank them. Maybe talk about like profit potential, consistency and availability, how much effort and time these things take. Are they scalable? That kind of thing. Let's talk about it, and let's talk about our personal experiences where it comes to these different things. Ouch. Sorry. Let's do it. I'm going to start with one of our favorite because, I mean, we are consignment chats. Let's talk about consignment.
Yeah, you recently did a sourcing reel and you didn't have consignment in there. And I thought that was kind of funny.
Really? You know what? I didn't even notice that I watched it.
Nobody else did. I was waiting for people to point it out and nobody said anything. And I even like put in the hook, like the caption was like, I feel like we're missing a couple.
Isn't that funny? So when I was making that reel, I actually had to go back and add the bins to it. So, because we are consignment chats and I can tell you how to consign. I can help you with everything about it, but it's not my personal focus. So I kind of made the reel, I guess, more selfishly on what I do more of than what we really are. Sorry. Oops.
I love consignment and think it's like one of the easiest things because you can literally go to like a family dinner or out with friends and talk about what you do and inventory will be presented to you. Like,
oh my gosh, I forgot I have this whole box of purses in my I went to play tennis with my cousin yesterday and she's by the way. Yeah.
See? Yes.
Totally forgot about those until you just said that.
My brother yesterday was talking about this whole like business plan he has and all this stuff he's going to do. And he's like, and then Sam's going to sell stuff on eBay. And I'm like, oh, I'm part of your business plan. Okay. Like,
yeah,
for
sure. And I think the real consignment. So here's the part that I'm not big on consignment with. Like I say, this is how I got in the business, was working with Libby in her consignment store. And I love it. And I love everything it does. I love the circular economy. I love when consignment comes in. I love everything about it. But what I personally don't like about it is when you're doing consignment, it is more of a business versus the side hustle feel that you get when you're outsourcing. And for me personally, at this stage in my life, I want less of that, whereas a lot of people want more of that. And I think it is a phenomenal way to start, honestly.
So Molly doesn't like it when people tell her what to do. She's the first to admit that to us every week. Like, don't tell her what to do. She won't do it. And when consignment comes in, that batch of items is literally saying you need to list me immediately because I am someone else's and someone else is counting on you to list this now, sell it. And that's a lot of pressure. And some people can't handle that pressure.
Yeah.
It can be a lot if that's all you ever do. Like, I have a hard time with that. I get very overwhelmed if it's all I ever have is consignment. I get so burnt out from it because all I think of is all the responsibility of I need to do this and I need to do the right and I need to. It can be a lot if it's your only thing, for sure.
If it's your only thing and if it's a side hustle, like I think it's difficult. I think it's more difficult to do as a side hustle, rather,
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can do it. There are a lot of people that do it, but it's, you have that pressure. And if you have like your full-time job interrupting that, it's a lot more hard to balance.
Oh yeah. I couldn't put a timeline on it when I had my full-time job because I didn't know what was ever going on with my job. If things came up, I can't be like, your stuff's all going to be listed the next 3 weeks, because I might go 3 weeks and not list anything because I have so much other stuff going on in my life. Yeah, it is definitely.
Yeah, there's a couple of ways.
Like, it is way scalable and it's zero cost inventory. You don't pay out unless that item sells.
That is the beautiful thing about it, especially for people that are just starting out. If you have no money to put into this, I mean, what a great way to start. And there's so many different ways you can go about it. So like for me, because this is more side hustle for me, my reselling part of my life is more of a side hustle. I do consignment but I do it. I'm very picky about who I do. And I only have a couple of people that I do, and they're close friends and family, typically estate based. So they come in mass with the agreement that there is no timeline that I'm going to have these things listed for you in, because that is where I want to be. Yeah. Now, if you're just starting out, that's not a good way to start. You need to start out with Consignment Chats helping you with all of your starter things you need to get this business going. And you do need to have a more focused contract or agreement and things set in place to be successful, even if you only want to start with 5 consigners. And that's the beauty of it. When you start, you can limit how many people you want to start with. You know?
Absolutely. I was gonna say, I don't want it to sound like consignment is bad or scary, because it's definitely easy if you know your terms. So many people have a bad taste about consignment because they jumped into it and they didn't have terms. They didn't have things expire or ends of agreements, or people want
percentages
their back.
Right.
Yeah, their percentages. It's not worth it for them because they didn't do it right. We can help you do it right.
Oh, we got you.
Yes. And
we can help you do it right. Make it do easy.
And Molly's getting a new t-shirt out of this. Consignment Chats. We're picky about who we do.
Oh God.
Did you even know you said that? Did you even know you said that?
Let's write it down. Hold on. I like it.
Oh my God.
That's great. Gosh.
And
that is legit. Like, there are a lot of people that you don't want to consign for. Like, you have to be you have to be picky. Yes. They're out there.
If not pickier than who we do. But but yeah, it can be a great thing to add, but you do have to know what you want out of it. I hate listing clothes. I don't source clothes when I go shopping and stuff. When I go thrifting or whatever, I don't do that. However, I like it in my consignment because I know that everybody has clothes and they're cleaning out their closets, and that's the best way to get new customer or new consigners and get them in the door. And then also I treat that part as my quantity, that's my, when I am doing consignment days, I know that boom, I got to do it in my quickest process to get the most amount of clothes out. And then the next day I'm going to process the stuff I got at an auction, and I'm going to take my time and I'm going to research that stuff more. It's different than the everyday stuff. So you have to have a plan in order to make it work for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other side of that is a lot of people with consignment do buyouts. And the thing about buyouts, especially if you're just starting out, is then again, you've got to have money available. You have to have that money source so that you can afford to do the buyout, which is again why I like for beginners consignment when you don't have money to put into your business right off the bat.
And for some people, that pressure of getting the consignment done would actually be a good thing, right? I need to do that. Maybe that's the thing that is going to keep you consistent. So we kind of talked about it as a bad thing, but well,
I was going to say the flip side of that. Samantha saying, I don't like to be told what to do. I don't, but I do work well.
Don't tell me how I feel.
But I do work well. I do work well under pressure when I need to do it for somebody else. So there is that. My thing is, though, I set mine up right off the bat with low expectations that it's all going to be listed in 3 weeks. That's not an expectation for my people, but 99.9% of consignment businesses have that there. And that is a great thing to make you get it done. You go out sourcing, bring your stuff back, you put it in the corner, you start with a few, and then you get into something else. And I mean, I'm not going to lie, Nick just showed up last night. We went sourcing this weekend. I was listing some new sourced items, and Nick comes downstairs from being up in one of our rooms full of product. And he goes, here's some things that haven't been listed. And it was something that literally I bought over a year ago.
Yep.
A year ago.
I get that.
Yeah.
Should we pretend to be shocked, Samantha?
Well, I
feel like I can't even fake it. I can't even fake it.
I'm at the end of having consignment here, as far as I don't even want to say it out loud, but I'm catching up, which is weird.
But you know what is going to happen now. Why do you say that out loud?
I know. But I did find a bag that like that consignor hasn't brought me stuff in a long time, but clear as day, her name's all over it. And I'm like, oh God, okay. Well, I need to get those listed because that was a while ago.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So with consignment and buyouts, y'all, if you decide this is a route you want to take, especially consignment, just remember that we're here for you. We've got a lot of resources to help you. If that's something you're scared of, you've never thought of, you're interested in, but don't quite know where to start, we got your back. I want to move to something that I don't do often. I don't, but I have done it once or twice on Whatnot. Let's talk about online sourcing. I think one of the beautiful things about online sourcing is you don't have to go anywhere. It is not, you don't have to worry if it's snowing, raining, there's a tornado. You just got to make sure you got internet or cell service and you can source right there in your pajamas with your coffee. And you source right from home. Online sourcing, how much experience do you guys have in that?
I don't have a ton, but I mean, it's such a rabbit hole. When I do it, I have to set like a time limit of like, I'm going to look for this type of item for the next 30 minutes and that's it. Because I will go down a whole rabbit hole of like, I want to get more Lincoln Logs. Let's see if anybody has them really cheap. I can flip them. And then it turns into me spending a couple $100 and buying a bunch of stuff off of like 5 platforms. And I spent 3 hours doing it. Like it's a slippery slope for me, but I like it because I can see like, oh, I know that this sells consistently for me every single time I list it. And then I look on Mercari and I see that several people have them super cheap. And so I can still make money. But you got to have a plan. You have to have a plan of like how much you're willing to spend and plus shipping. Some people are like, oh, I only spent whatever. And I'm like, Andy's, that was a $20 box for shipping. Like, yeah.
And you have to be careful that when you're doing it, that you're not, I'm trying to think of how to say this. You're not finding other people's mistakes. Like they bought it, couldn't sell it, and now they're just trying to get rid of it. I'm kind of in that own personal position right now, not from an online buy, but a couple of years ago at a yard sale, there was a guy who was a sales rep for a company. He wanted to wheel and deal a bunch of children's artwork, and went to his storage unit, bought a ton. I have not sold a single one, and they are taking up so much room in our garage. Basically, he offloaded his mistake, stuff that he couldn't get rid of and that he was tired of storing. And now what have I been doing? I've just been storing it for a year and a half. It was a big mistake. So I'm about to just take it all to Goodwill and let somebody enjoy it because it's taken up way too much space. So online, you have to be careful with that too. Make sure, again, that you're comping those items, making sure that even though it looks like a good deal when you're sourcing online, make sure it's still something people are seeking, people are shopping and spending money on. I did it once that it really worked out well for me on Whatnot. You can do it a lot on Whatnot, but again, you need to be careful if you're shopping as a reseller on Whatnot. You can get some really good deals, or you can end up getting in the moment of the excitement of the bidding, and you know you have overpaid for something that you're not going to make profit on. So look for the ones like I did. There was a jewelry person a couple of years ago who literally just got a bunch of jewelry from an estate or a storage unit or something and had boxes of it and would just scoop out a whole thing, put it on the scale and say, okay, we're bidding on 2 pounds of mixed lot jewelry. They never looked at it. They never said there's gold or silver or it's all junk. They just did it by the pound, and it was a huge moneymaker for me.
Yeah.
Had I gone to somebody who was doing it piece by piece by piece, I would need to look and go. As a reseller trying to make profit off of it, that would be a little more detailed. Yeah. But if you've got somebody who's just taking a bunch like that and doing that, that can be, even if it were all costume jewelry at that, it still would have been a good money maker. So do your research and think about what it is when you're on online sourcing. It's not just ooh, look at this is a great deal, click and buy. You still need to comp and research and make sure you know.
Yeah, I do the other way. Well, I only look for trains that I've sold or makeup that I've sold, or like it's something very specific that I'm like, okay, I got several of these. They're bread and butter, or they, they're good flip. People aren't realizing their potential, but it's something that I've had success with already recently, not 2 years ago, not whatever, but like, so then I just go to find more of those things.
That's smart.
And I mean, I would do online sourcing like Facebook Marketplace. When I did furniture, I did a lot of that. I've tried here since I've moved to find some like good lots on Facebook Marketplace, like I would when I was in Allentown or Philadelphia. It's just the market here is just very different. People have their stuff way marked up. Like I'm not finding anything, so I don't spend the time anymore. But I did try it.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to one of my favorites, y'all. I don't know if it's my favorite, but one of my favorites, thrift stores. The why. Why would you go to a thrift store? Why would you shop at a thrift store? What? Because they're accessible. I think every town has at least one, even the smaller towns. You're going to have something that's a thrift store, whether it's a little, nook in a church or an animal rescue one. There's thrift stores. You can get to a thrift store within 30 minutes of where you live. I think I can say that across the board safely.
Yeah. Oh, so somebody's going to pop in the comments and tell us no.
Oh, I live in the middle of nowhere. I was going to say, there's still within 30 to 40 minutes, you can still get to a thrift store mostly. Yeah.
Mostly. Yeah. We're going to add that little bit of, so there's that, and there's typically great margins. But again, you have to know your thrift store. Some are into the whole with the reseller surge over the last several years. There's been a lot of price gouging in thrift stores. I see a decline in that lately with a lot of mine, where they're going back to the base prices again, because I think they're starting to realize that did not work out well for us, because I mean, they're given their items and all of a sudden they're trying to high price them, and then all of a sudden nobody's buying them. And so I have noticed that in a lot of places, and it's exciting to see that they're having their aha moment and realizing this is not a good idea.
And this will happen every couple years. Like it just does.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll happen again in a year, because I'm shopping at mine now that they're lowering the prices, and I'm spending money there again. And then they're gonna be like, oh, the games are flying off the shelf. Let's raise the prices. And then I'm gonna stop shopping there.
Right. All right. So the downfall to thrift stores is, again, you have to have money available to spend. Right. So that is there. You got to have that. And again, we're going to talk about budgeting, because that is important, but it also takes time. It takes a lot of your time. So you've got to actually put in your schedule that you are going to get in your vehicle, leave the comfort of your home. I'm not saying that you have to get out of your pajamas. I mean, that's a personal choice. Feel free to thrift. You feel free to thrift in your jammies. I don't care. I'm not going to judge you. You do what's comfortable.
Right.
I mean, you know what's comfortable, but you do have to leave your house. You do have to go there. You do have to take the time away from your schedule of other things to actually go to the thrift store to find those items. And they can be inconsistent, as we started talking in the beginning, that, there are people that go and come out empty-handed. I personally have not experienced that, probably because I'm a shopaholic. So I will find one thing at least to say, hey, I'll do this one.
I've definitely come out empty-handed, and it kills me, because my day is so busy and scheduled to take that time is almost an impossibility for me. Like to lose a couple hours in the middle of the day. It's just real hard.
Really?
Well, especially stuff coming right to my door.
Right. That's where her mindset is now, but she has to switch that mindset when she doesn't have stuff coming right to her door and say, this is a priority, and I do need to take the time to go and do this. And I might have to drive an hour away to get to the most solid area of thrift stores. So that's the thing too. With all of these, you need some sort of plan. And when it comes to thrifting, I think there's multiple ways to plan it. You have to plan to go to where the most or the best thrift stores are. I used to plan to drive 3 hours away and go to a town that had little thrifting trail is what they called it. And they had like 10 or 15 stores and a map, and you could go and do the whole thing. And it was fantastic. Their prices are ridiculous, and I don't find anything there anymore. So I stopped planning that, and I started going to a different town. But like, I have to plan out where I'm going to make it worth it. Or if I only have a half an hour, plan which store you're going to, which one's going to give you the most probability of finding deals. And then also plan what type of items, as we talked about in the beginning, about having, make sure that you're getting quality, not necessarily quantity, and that you're focusing on your profits and not just, oh, that's a really good deal. Well, okay, just because this is on me, just because it was only 25 cents, if you're only going to list it for $7, that was not a good deal. That's not like $7 is not getting us anywhere. Yeah. So think about how you're going to build your store. And we'll talk about this more with the strategy in the next episode, but how you want your end goal to be. Do you want a higher return on things, your profit margin? Like, what do you want your store to look like? For some people, they have a very curated store as far as like types of items. They're only looking at a certain section of the store, and that could also streamline. If you guys have a lot of thrift stores nearby, you can just go to that section and at every store and not get caught up with the rest of the store and all the other possibilities. So
yeah. And there are people that you watch, on YouTube that do that, where they don't touch a thing of clothing and they go straight. If you are a hard good shopper and do all the hard goods, that you can do in a lot less time. Hitting thrift stores, you could hit a couple in a lot less time than if you're flipping through labels of clothing and clothing and clothing and clothing, and then that clothing has to be looked at in every seam, armpit, neckline. You're really looking that over. Whereas in the hard goods, you grab a vase, you look at it, you comp it, you run your finger around the rims, make sure there's no chips, and boom, you're done. Like it can be much easier time-wise if you're niche down to just certain things.
Like, Libby, if you could drive to Scranton and plan out all of the thrift stores and only go to like their toy section, like you could knock out, you could knock out a bunch of places and hopefully find a bunch of stuff.
How many thrift stores do you think there are in Scranton?
More than Sault Ste. Marie. You can do it. It's fine.
Come on, Libby. Come on, Libby. Yeah, I go and a lot of times will go in and say, okay, my start focus is shoes and handbags. And I hit shoes and handbags. And then depending on what the day holds, if I get through those quickly, and then I'll say, okay, now I'm going to go to hard goods, or I'm going to look at dresses, or I pick sections and keep looking at the time and figuring out where I'm at. So
yeah, I'm going to have to film the Goodwill here, our hard goods section, because it is literally the worst thing I have ever seen in my life. It is the worst hard goods section I've ever seen. Yeah, it's always bad.
We'll look forward to that on Thrift Find Flip.
Yeah, I think that's going to be my first filming. I don't want to represent Scranton like that, though.
Well, I went to my cousin's teeny tiny itsy bitsy Goodwill in Goodrich, Michigan. It is on Thrift Find Flip. Go watch it. And it ended up being fantastic. But I talked to someone there, and they're like, you came on a great day. They just put everything out. And so there's that too. And I know like cookbooks get put out at my Salvation Army every Thursday morning when my mom goes to the Salvation Army to buy her cookbooks. And then I'm there on Saturday and I'm like, they never have anything new here. So you also have to plan and try to see like what their schedules are and what they're doing, what their deals are.
Most of them will tell you the days that they put the majority of their stuff out, because a lot of them have days where they put a lot of inventory out, and those are the days to go on.
Yeah, Beverly only volunteers on Tuesday, so that's when they put everything out. Like, you gotta know those kind of things. Also, mine has a like 50% off color several of them do that. And I have that in my calendar for Goodwill. I know exactly. So if I'm looking at stuff and I'm like on the fence about something, I'm like, well, if it's still here on Sunday when it goes half off, I'll grab it then. And I will literally like take pictures of stuff or make a list and come back when they're half off and make it more worth my time.
Smart.
Gotcha.
Speaking of which, somebody bought that knitting machine a couple days later. I was at the Goodwill. Somebody bought it. We did have a 50% off store-wide sale on Friday. And I really hope that they got it when it was only $25. So I was happy. I was happy that giant thing found a home because I had standards and a plan, and I wasn't bringing home giant things. So,
dadgummit. Yeah. All right, so thrift stores, there's your information on that. You know you can find the goodies, but you do have to dig for them. You got to be willing to do the dig. All right, estate sales and garage sales. Let's talk about those. They're kind of different, kind of the same.
That's your jam.
Oh my gosh, y'all. I did both this weekend and I had so much fun. I think I like them, especially with estate sales. I always say, get to know your companies. Mm-hmm. You need to get to know the companies because they're different. I mean, they price differently. And I find the happy-go-lucky people are typically the ones that are pricing at good prices. I don't know. The people I love are the ones that I don't just love them because their personalities are great, but they price at a good pricing for everybody, for the estate family and for those that are shopping it. They just do a good job. Samantha, I just want you to know that the estate sale I went to this weekend was in Charlotte, and it was our friends that we went to when you were here.
Yes.
The other Samantha, and now I can't think of the name, something Treasures.
I can't think of it either, but I can see their sign. Their sign.
Yes.
They were a good time. Yeah.
So I did talk to Samantha again and said, hey, we came to see you. And she was like, yeah, that was my personal after my divorce. Y'all were at my house. And we talked about the hokas. I bought the hokas that are on my feet, so anyway, it was fun. And I did find some stuff from them. So I love estate sales because you get unique items. I love them because the majority of them, put their things on estatesales.net so you can look at what they have. Never everything. They can never put it all in there, but you can get a good view of the majority of what is in there so that you know whether or not it's worth your time ahead of time to go to that particular estate sale. Is it just one or two items they have there, or are there a lot of things I would be interested in looking at? So I like that you can do your ahead of time research on those things. I love the relationship that you can make with the owners of the companies because you're seeing them on a weekly basis and or by however often you go. But I like that relationship building with the people that run the company. I think it's fun. You get to know a lot of the same people that are standing in line with you that are collectors or resellers or, like there's a collector. She's not a reseller. She doesn't own anything, but she loves MCM in her house. She's always finding goodies for her house. And I love to see her. And I always think ahead of time when I'm looking at estate sale, that lady's going to be there because she's going to want that lamp. And sure enough, she's there. And I'm like, I know why you're here. You're going to get that lamp, So I just find all that fun. It adds a different level to my experiences when I'm sourcing, and I love it. Garage sales, again, unique items. Garage sale pricing typically are really, really good. I will tell you, I bought a pair of baby high tops this weekend we weren't planning. We drove by this yard sale. Nick's like, all right, I'll stop. I ran over there. We picked up 4 items, a pair of Nike high tops, infant high tops that I paid. She had them for $5 and I kind of walked away and she goes, I'll do 3. It was the end of the day. And I said, okay, 3, I'll take them. Y'all, they are a rare Optimus Prime, and there are only 3 listed. One is listed for $1,000, the other for $900, and they have like 7 to 12 watchers.
That's way better than I thought. I thought you couldn't put $5 into 200, but that's even better than what I thought. 3 and
so yeah,
it's like $3. Wow, like you didn't try to get them for $1, 25 cents. What the heck?
But they are like mint condition. They are like brand new, no box, but definitely UC. But they were cute, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'll take them. And so I grabbed them. Now one pair sold, not the same size, for $180, but the other, there are 3 more listed, and that's it. They are very rare. So I listed mine this weekend for $4.99. So we'll see. I don't know.
Nice.
But you can find great things at good deals, especially at the end of the day. I just love yard sales. I love them. I just think they're fun. They're, the deals are great. You got to be willing to get up early. I think there's two ways to look at this. You either get up early and you get there when they start to beat the crowds to get the goodies, or you hit them at the end of the day and hope there's a lot of goodies left and they just want to get rid of it and you can get real good deals. So there's two ways to look at that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I live in an area where we'll have 3 garage sales on a Saturday, and 2 of them will be in my town, which is a 3-mile wide town. And then the third one will be 20 miles away. That's like a normal. So you have to plan these things out. We don't have a newspaper. People don't use like any of the apps. We don't even have service where most of these sales are, but I adapted and made a garage sale group for my tri-county area and did that. So you have to make sure that you have a way to find where all the garage sales are, at least the majority of them, because just driving around aimlessly saying, let's go garage selling is not going to be a good plan. And then if you don't have one, maybe think of making one. We've talked about that a couple different times. It works for me, but my husband and I we wake up early, we make a list, we figure out like which way we're going, how we're doing it. Yeah. Yeah.
It definitely takes time and it's time dependent on your areas. We talked about it can be very seasonal. Mm-hmm. Samantha can talk a good bit about the seasonality of it all because she's very seasonal.
Yeah, I mean, we normally don't see garage sales here until the end of May and really the beginning of June. And this year we still have so much snow that I feel like it's going to be even later. So, yeah. I'm jealous that you're already going to garage sales.
Oh, there were so many this weekend here, but we were headed to Charlotte. So, and we weren't going for that, but we did find one. But yeah, there were so many. Church sales are another one I'm going to throw in this place too. If you've got a church doing a church sale, you've got church rummage sales are by far the best. They are worth it. It's a one-stop shop. Pricing is good. You're supporting somebody, usually it's like a mission trip or some kind of program they're supporting within their church. And yeah, I love them.
We need to make it a normal thing that off-season places, the churches have sales. Like that's when all of the church basement sales should be, is in the off garage sale season. Like they would have lines up out the door, have some kids outside selling cocoa if it's cold out. Like, I don't know, just like there's got to be something. I have like screamed it from the rooftops in my town. We have so many churches. They all do their rummage sales in July. And I'm like, no, I want them in February. Like that would be great. So talk to your congregation. Get them to do that.
Trying to find, there is a new, here it is, garage sale HQ, which I think ADH Dave and
I was going to say, is this Kevin the Commonwealth Flippers new thing? They just came out with it like last week.
And I don't know if it was him or Dave that did it, but I used that this weekend to check it out, and it's really good. They've done a really good job with it. Yeah.
Well, that's
good.
So Kevin
I wanted
must
to shout
have
that
had
out.
something to do with it. Yeah.
I don't know, but I know that Dave did. So anyway, that's a new one on the market that I was going to say farted around with this weekend. And
the trash to cash guys would appreciate that terminology with their app. I'm sure.
That's right.
Yeah.
I farted around with it, and I kind of like it. It's got estate sales and all kinds of things on it, and I kind of like it. So yeah,
I saw it. I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, I'll do a little deeper dive, and maybe we can talk more about it on next week's episode. Ooh, I'm going to make you wait again. Oh,
to be continued.
All right, this episode's going. I'm going to chop this quick because we could talk forever, but we can't be into a 2-hour episode. So retail arbitrage, let's talk about it. Why? It's easy. It's predictable brands, right?
What is it? I get that question all the time, like when I do meetups and stuff. What's retail arbitrage? Sounds so fancy and complicated. It's the word arbitrage.
Right?
Caviar.
Somebody define it for me, please.
But I say I eat fish eggs, and people are like, "Oh my god, that's disgusting."
But if you say caviar,
Right?
so yeah, basically what you're doing, y'all, is you're going to clearance stores. You're going to any
Walmart.
of these kind of Walmart,
You're going to
TJ Maxx, Ross, all these kind of places, and you're hitting their clearance items. And you are grabbing their clearance items so that you can flip them for profit, because even though they might be clearing them out, there could be still a big buying customer base out there that wants those items. So,
I mean, you just
That's
did
what
a video on Thrift Find Flip, and you went to Dillard's, was it?
Dillard's clearance. So
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to gatekeep. I'm not going to gatekeep. I could gatekeep it, but I'm not. Dillard's clearance store. There are a lot of places that will have clearance stores. I go to Dillard's. We do get a credit card for Dillard's. We're not typically one that likes to get those kind of credit cards, but we do because we pay it off right after we shop it. And because the reason we do it is it gives you discount coupons for your next shop, which typically for us will cover the taxes on all the items that we buy the next time we retail arbitrage there. That is really the only retail arbitrage place that we spend any kind of time. I have picked up a few things off and on when in Ross or TJ Maxx, but it hadn't been because I was there planning that. It'd be because I was personally shopping and maybe saw something that I went, ooh, well, let's try this or look it up real quick. But I use Dillard's. It's my one thing. And I go, a couple of times a year, 2 to 8 times a year, probably, when they're having a big sale. So look around in your area and see if there are those kind of clearance areas in there. Again, it's lower margins. It's easy to overpay. You really have to be careful. You have to do a lot of pre-planning. I have brands that I know are good. And I kind of try to stick with those. I wait for particular sales. Ours does a recording every week. I can call every Sunday night and see what's on special that week. Everything in that store is already like 65% off of retail, but I wait for the deep dives, like the one you'll watch if you go to Thrift Find Flip, the one that just went out. It was a dress sale on luxury dresses and regular dresses. And I did spend some money and get some. And so, yeah, we'll see. I get a lot of benefit when they do their big and tall. That's where Nick and I go nuts there, because their big and tall section, the men's stuff, it's always a good one. So that's where you just learn to know that you're putting more money out, but the profit can be good if you find the right things. So
yeah, and if you hear this will be retail arbitrage RA, like a lot of resellers just say I do RA or I do OA. OA would be online arbitrage, which we talked about, but sometimes usually when they say OA, they're talking about like new items, like you would go to the 9 West clearance site or whatever and buy items that way. But OA and RA.
All right. The bins. We're going to go to the bins. We're going to go to the outlets. Why? Because the inventory is so ridiculously cheap at the bins and the outlets. But the problem is it's time consuming. You're talking about a lot of time. It is physically demanding. Trust, it is physically demanding. You are bent over down in those bins. It is your arm working out. People are throwing elbows at you, right, Libby? Libby's had some elbows thrown at her.
Yeah, not the biggest fan of the bins.
Yeah.
I forgot about the elbows, man. That Nashville bins was wild.
Woo, they were after her in there.
And that wasn't anything compared to the Vegas bins.
Oh, I've never been to the Vegas bins.
Big fight.
Now,
I have the video somewhere.
Find your bins, find that good bins, y'all, and go to that one. But it is time consuming. You do have to dig. You might want to consider safety measures like gloves. I don't know, masks. It's up to you. I go in as is and have my supplies in the car for after to disinfect and go that route. But I don't go often, and I have one 5 minutes from my house, and it's a decent one. I should go more frequently. I don't. It's the time and physical demand on it that I just don't. I enjoy the other things more. Again, like I say, with all this sourcing, I am lucky to live in an area that has it all. We have it all here. We have a good bins. We have lots of yard sales with a long season, lots of estate sale companies. Every weekend there's at least 8 estate sales. I mean, they are always going. I am pretty blessed. We got the clearance centers. We're in a good spot. Why do I keep thinking I want to move? As I talk about this,
I don't know. My closest bins is 5 hours away. I just went to the Flint, Michigan one, 5 hours away, and it's okay. My favorite one is 8 hours away in Wisconsin, in a totally different state. So you've got it good. There's more than just Goodwill ones, so look for other ones as well. Green Bay has a St. Vincent de Paul outlet, and I love it. And they actually have way better prices, but it is something you got to dig, and it's kind of dirty, but it's great. It's great.
It's kind of dirty. It ain't for the prim and proper prissy people, y'all. You just ain't for you.
It's not. But when you walk out with a bunch of stuff and they were like, $5, and I'm like, sounds great.
Yeah.
But they're depending on your business model, and depending on the location. My favorite bins, which is in Sturtevant, Wisconsin, in Kenosha, they love resellers. They love resellers, and they're like, you can not only video record in here, they don't care. You can set up a whatnot show in there. And I have seen multiple people, and I'm sure you got to chat with them and do it. But I have seen multiple people, they go through and they grab carts of stuff, and there's usually multiple people, and they will literally hold it up and be like, I've got this hat here. It's a Columbia, starting bid $1. And if nobody bids on it, they just throw it back into a bin. They never it was fascinating to watch. I've heard of many people that do it, but it was fascinating. And then they'd be like, okay, and I mean, you're talking like $1 a pound or whatever, and they're like, okay, this bed sheet, okay, $12, winning bid, good job, and they throw that in their cart to purchase, and I'm like, oh, that's a fun way to do it. Yeah, but it did take a team of like 3 ladies to do that. Like,
because somebody's got to keep track of bed sheet goes to this person, right?
Right. Yes.
Oh,
make sure we pay it and not put it back in the bin.
Right. Oops.
Yeah. It was so fun though.
So people are either bins people or they're not. I always say try it once or twice. If you're not, you're not. It's not for everybody, because y'all, it is not glamour shopping. It is definitely survival. Right. It's survival. Yeah. I mean, put your pads on and be ready. Be ready to go.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
I guess she's ready to go. You think she went to the bins?
She's got, her internet was being weird. So we will finish this up. Bulk and wholesale is kind of our last thing. I don't really have any experience with that. One time I got roped into buying a pallet of something from somebody, and it was terrible. I will never sell cell phone cases or watch covers ever again. But it's definitely a fun thing. Have you done any like pallet or bulk?
Yep. I've done Amazon pallets, like the overstock from Amazon. They were great. I think I did 3 total. It was great. The profit margin was great. Not all the items were great, but overall, yeah. I mean, I still have, this is like 5-6 years ago, I still have a couple items in inventory out of a couple thousand. So yeah, no, wow. I enjoyed that, but it's all about finding the right thing to buy in bulk. Like if that had been cell phone cases, or like my son will do electronics, he won't be going back to that again because the return on investment wasn't quite high enough. But yeah, I think it's a really cool, good option to get a lot of inventory very quickly. You just have to be super careful about doing your research, knowing what's in there, like looking at the manifest. They should provide the manifest before you buy it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I was going to say that. Make sure there's a manifest and you at least know what types of items. You're not just getting some big mystery, whatever, because normally the price up front it's rather high compared to other ways to source. But if you have a manifest and you do your research on the types of items you're getting, it can usually be pretty good. Also know how that delivery is going to come.
Oh, I was just going to say that. Yes.
Some people are very shocked. I mean, they might just have a, 2-story house like I do with my garage is not equipped for anything. I don't have any type of forklift or dollies or anything like that. And you might have a truck show up and say, okay, where's your forklift? Where's your warehouse? Where's your whatever? And you're not equipped for that. So make sure that you have the proper equipment. You know what type of truck is delivering. Does it have a lift gate? Does it have there are a lot of things to make sure that you are set up the proper way, because most resellers are doing this out of their homes or their garages, and it's not the same as people who get normal wholesale things. So
right. Yeah, like I would have it like they used a forklift and got it back to my garage. Like they had to park the tractor trailer on the highway and then come back my driveway with just the forklift. And if I didn't have that garage, I don't know. I couldn't have done it.
Yeah. Well, and even my dad orders some things and he's like, oh, I didn't realize I had to have a tractor when they brought it. And I'm like, well, yeah, you ordered a giant thing that was being delivered a certain way. And he's like, I just thought I bought it. They're going to bring it to me. And I'm like, no, that's not how it works all the time. You really
not how it works. So would you recommend this to somebody new into reselling? Is it for a beginner?
I don't think so.
Dave, you have to know what types of items that you like to sell, what type, you have to really have some things planned out before you jump into a large investment like wholesale buyouts. And especially since to get the right relationship, a lot of times you got to really commit to them for a little while or buy a larger amount of things before you can make that relationship. And you definitely have to have some plans.
Yeah, for sure. All right, y'all, let's break this down before we end this episode. I got kicked out there. I'm glad I was able to get back on here.
We thought you went to the bins. We were like, wow, she was really excited for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I might get kicked out again, but way to just roll with it, girls. Y'all did great. So
she didn't listen to it yet.
Uh-oh. All right, so we know that all these options are there. We know that the best sourcing option is the one that you can do consistently. Keep that in mind. It's the one you can do consistently.
Consistently. If you have money mountains, you shouldn't even be listening to this. Why are you even here? Go list your stuff right now.
Oh, and remember that busy sourcing doesn't mean you're building a business. I mean, it just means you're out feeding your shopping addiction. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's do a real quick as we end this. Let's break this down into levels. Let's talk about, if you're a beginner, what are the best things you should start with aside from your own closet?
Right.
Aside from that,
things around your house are always number one. After that, thrift sale or thrift stores and garage sales I would feel are the next level.
Next level. Yep. And then intermediate, you've been doing this for a little while. You've cleared out your house. You've Marie Kondoed everything and then listed all those things that didn't bring you joy. And you've hit your local garage sales and thrift sales. What's next? Kids, we got you. Consignment. Let's talk. We will help you.
Chances are somebody's already clued into the fact that you're selling stuff online. It's like, I have stuff for you. We will teach you how to navigate that in a profitable and responsible manner.
Yes.
And this may be a time you want to kind of lean in a little to the online and look at some online sourcing. That's an option. Goodwill sells online. We have a lot of people that do that. We've talked about whatnot. This might be a time as you've gotten better at this and consider yourself more at the intermediate level, then you look into that too. For you advanced people, we highly recommend you hold out for things like retail arbitrage and big buyouts until you are more advanced. You've got the space to handle that kind of buying. You are a solid presence on platforms where people are seeking you out and you are getting consistent sales that you can really handle that, right? That's when you're more advanced. So there you have it. Pick 1 or 2 methods and get good at them. This is what we always say, even when you're starting selling on a platform, pick 1 or 2, get really good at them, and don't go chasing the next thing until you have mastered where you begin. Any other goodies there y'all got?
Go list your shit.
All right. And we're going to end on that note. Remember, next week, we've got part 2 of this where we will dive deeper into helping you really break down how to decide what is best for you and your business model. But until next time, girls.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for being here with us on Consignment Chat. Find everything we do at consignmentchats.com and stay connected with us by subscribing wherever you listen or watch. We'll see you next time.